how does Jay-Z get involved in this right here? That's the question of this whole video is how does he get involved? And I'm actually, until I see some real proof, I'm siding with Jay-Z. I don't think that he would jeopardize everything that he's built for this type of situation. So we got a video right here we're going to watch. The name of the video is insane. The name of the video is he's sued by multiple minor victims. This looks bad. And they got a lawyer reacting on it as well. So they make me smaller, and I think we should get into it, guys. Don't sit on the video if you're not going to be involved. Let me know your input. What do you feel? And let's get into it.
This just in, Jay-Z is actually being accused of essaying multiple males, females, and minors. We got Ray's here in studio to break it down.
That was the most disrespectful intro ever.
Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signar. So happy. Look who's here. Beard Lawyer live in studio.
Unbelievable. Who would have thought?
Wow. Flew on down. So honored to have you here. How you like the digs? Pretty nice, right?
It's beautiful. It's more amazing than what it appears on the channel.
I know. I got to get more people in studio. I hope to do it. Well, I'm glad you're here. My own Beard Lawyer here is here to reacting to this pretty big news. Basically, let me sum this up for you, Race, and then you, because I know you're coming in hot. You're maybe unfamiliar with this, but he's now being accused of essaying multiple male, female, kids. Alex Spiro basically responded in a very lengthy document, 236-page extortion lawsuit against Busby, which refers to Jay-Z and John Doe. Filing reveals the attorney accused him of multiple blanks on both male, female, and children. Spiro argues Jay-Z is the victim of a scheme by Busby, who he accuses of shamelessly attempting to extort exorbitant sums from him or else publicly file wild, false, horrific allegations against.
I mean, but what I will say off top is, like, if that is the case and he's, like, threatened to do it, I mean, then there should be proof that he threatened it. Proof is everything. And I think that if there's proof and Jay-Z could defend himself and show real proof, then, we don't throw the book at him. I know it's quick. I'm going to say something that a lot of people may not agree with, but it's kind of hard to just throw, that type of accusation on a man. Any man, black man, white man, it don't matter. Like, when you throw that on a man and it's like no solid proof, we need to just make sure that we got solid proof, because a lot of people are probably just assuming they see that name, they see that word, and all of a sudden it's just that you're guilty. And even when you're innocent, you got to fight to let people know that you're innocent, because they might forget that.
Document continues, arguing Busby and his firm threatened to unleash entirely fabricated and malicious allegations. Notice now there's plural of SA, including multiple instances of of ages that we can't say easily, female, male. I mean, it sounds like there's many against plaintiff if he refused to comply with the demands. Spiro dismissed the baseless accusations as nothing more than a weapon and a calculated plot to destroy plaintiff's high-profile reputation for profit, despite the complete absence of any factual basis for such claims. So, look, I'm glad you're here, because two questions, right? One, this is now clearly getting ahead. The lawyer is getting ahead of multiples, right? Because Tony Busby only sort of let one out the door right now. But now Spiro, Jay-Z's lawyer, is getting ahead of it, putting it in here like, oh, they're all fake. There's so many of them, it doesn't matter. It's kind of a smart way to sort of try to play like this isn't a big deal. But I don't know. It's not every day like you're accused of multiple SA things from...
He's right. It's not every day you are accused of that. That's something we have to agree
various ages and people. I don't know. As a lawyer, what do you think? Should this make us a little bit more worried, or do you think this all still falls into the narrative that they're putting out there, that Busby's full of it and this is all lies?
I think Spiro is a smart lawyer. We know that much. I think this is a good strategy to probably deflect, and maybe deflect is not, but address head on what is likely to be a growing problem for the Jay-Z's that are yet to come.
Right.
And the Jay-Z allegations we know now.
Right, it's wild because it does feel very defensive, deflective, etc. But then it's also like, that makes me wonder, well, that's problematic if there's more than one. If you have multiples, that's not as common. There are false claims that come out, but to have multiples seems a little bit more unlikely to sort of be like, oh, it's all nonsense. Once you get multiple claims, I feel like you have to look at.
I mean, another thing too is when you got the right lawyers, man, you could really, switch the narrative. And I feel like you should be able to defend yourself. I think that people like to down people for defending themselves, and I think that that's corny. I think there should be more of a, you know what I mean, you should respect people that want to defend themselves and not just sit around and let any old accusation go out, because this not, you know, this is bad accusations. You know, a man got kids and, you know, people doing business and disengage from you from doing business before they even, the trial starts. So
And a little bit more seriously, no?
You have to look at it more seriously. And the other thing you have to understand too is, you remember, this is a civil lawsuit, right? So the standard of proof is preponderance, just 51% more believable than not versus beyond a reasonable doubt, which is criminal. You got to ask what the discovery is going to look like in this case. Like, I don't think we don't know what evidence Busby has other than the testimony of his client.
Right.
Are there text messages? Is there some record? I mean, this driver who allegedly she jumped in the car with and went to the party, do they have his info? Like, is this a slow bleed of information that's going to come? Or is it Busby saying, I'm going to wait for everything that's going to come out eventually in discovery, and then eventually there's nothing? But Jay-Z's made it clear, man, that he's not paying one penny. And he's personally called in his letter Busby a deplorable human. So this
Made fun of him for being a Marine. Like, you have no valor. It's gotten ugly, right?
It's gotten very ugly and very personal. And he's now talked about how this is a cheap shot at his family. He's got a 13-year-old daughter, and that this is now bringing his family into it. And he's really disappointed and he's really upset. So either A, this is a fantastic PR campaign for Jay-Z in a way he's addressing it, or B, this could be really bad for Tony if he can't rehabilitate his case. Because, again, if you only have testimony, you're going to look at credibility of the witness. You know they're going to come with daggers at this person.
Spiro's not going to mess around there.
They're going to come with daggers. Spiro's coming with spears.
Spiro's coming with spears. He got Alec Baldwin off, like, and he shot a woman.
Yeah.
Like, let's not forget, like, how he was able to.
all right, bro, hold on. Alec Baldwin wasn't guilty to me, bro. That was an accident. That's what I'm going to say. Like, do y'all think that was wrong? You think Alec Baldwin was on set acting like Rambo? You think that it was an accident? I don't think he should be liable. I think the person that handed it to him should be in trouble, because you the one. I don't understand how you dealing with fake real bullets on a set. I don't know. Let's talk about that in the comments.
Spin that yarn and get that going. It was masterful.
He's a tactician. He's a very good, high caliber, high quality lawyer. He knows what he's doing. So, coupled with the fact that Jay-Z has doubled down on his innocence, like, I'm not paying a penny. We're going to see this case through.
I'm showing up to the Mufasa premiere. You're not stopping
I'm showing
me, Disney.
up to Mufasa, and it's business as usual. Not, I'm going to keel over and settle. Something else, Andy, you got to remember: even if he settles, he may still be a witness in the underlying P. Diddy cases.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I personally, if you want to know my secret take on this, I think that somebody is going to have to turn on someone in this case. Somebody from the P. Diddy Jay-Z camp is going to have to say, put me in witness protection, put me in another island somewhere, even though it's a civil case. But I've got some juice to spill, or tea to spill.
If all the allegations are true, because there's many of them, right? Yeah. And, tapes and parties, like, at some point, exactly, someone's got to sign away, like, okay, I'll fess up, but I need this for it to come through. You're right, because I think a lot of people don't even want to be named or talked about it. But again, coming back to the fact that there's now multiples. Multiples from Busby. They're trying to discredit Busby, which is interesting. They're trying to claim he's done this before, which, to be fair, there have been some other athletes and people who've sort of won against him, saying that they were.
But male and female is insane in minors. This is insane.
Sort of pushed, and he didn't have all the facts. That's where I'm sort of stuck on this. Like, at what point does Busby actually say, all right, fine, here's some facts? Yeah. Or is it wiser to save it for the actual trial itself? Like, is this a public trial, or is what should Busby be doing? Because he's got 120 other clients, and if he misses the ball on this one, right, it's going to affect all of them, I would think.
The case is going to proceed to discovery, unless it gets dismissed right at the front, right? And it likely will not get dismissed at the front gates of this.
Sorry to interrupt, but do they need to provide any sort of evidence? Because it's like,
100%.
Here's an accusation. Before it goes to discovery, is the judge going to see more? Are we going to see more based on what they have?
Yeah.
Because when I look at that request, the lawsuit itself, it's an alleged, right? I was at a party, at an after party. Yeah. There's no police report. There's no. I don't know what witnesses they have to claim. If they don't have any of that, it's going to be hard to prove. No.
That's exactly right. So you have to produce evidence as part of your discovery process. You don't need to produce evidence at the allegation stage. So it's literally, that's what discovery's for. Hopefully, Busby has something to substantiate these claims other than his client's testimony. The problem is this is coming so many years later, right? I mean,
Yeah.
what receipts do they have? She
It also make you look at the person. Like, if you known all this time that people was dealing with minors, then what type of person is you? See, that's why I'm at is, yo, all these people is parents and they got their own kids. So if you knew that this was going on, you just as liable, you just as grimy, you just a part of the creep gang. That's how I feel.
called her parents, apparently, right?
Right.
At the time this
Her
happened.
dad.
Her dad. And so are there phone records?
Is that enough? If the dad can attest to it, does that give her enough credence to go into discovery?
I mean, look, unless Spiro files some sort of motion to dismiss or some other motion to basically address the merits up front, the case will go into discovery. So, assuming Jay-Z's side doesn't move to dismiss or file some other like dispositive type of motion, you're gonna, by virtue of the time and scheduling order in the case, you're gonna get into discovery, which means Busby has to produce the documents without even the defendants asking for it. But the defendants will also ask for discovery. They're going to ask for, produce this document, produce this witness. They're going to ask for them to admit certain things. That's just the normal shakeout of how discovery works. So that's why I come back to, I hope Busby has some of these things that he hasn't alleged in the complaint. Because again, you're not required to allege every single fact you have in the complaint. But you better have something.
Yeah, it's interesting because on the other side of the coin, I saw Andrea Burkhardt mention this and was sharing this other tweet. People who were actually with Jay-Z that night say this is all a lie. They have pics, wrote articles about that night. Now, again, I can't confirm or deny any of this stuff, but we're looking into it and obviously paying attention to all sides because that's what we got to do. A lot of people are just saying Jay-Z's guilty. Not me. I learned from Johnny Depp. We can't just join.
You can't just jump down like automatically because it's in the highlight, and that's why it's like I respect this content creator who's not just jumping sides, and I'm not jumping sides either. I'm actually laying out this evidence, and you guys could kind of decide what it is and give them a fair chance in the comments. If you know in your heart, you know what, I do feel like Jay's right. He's not wrong. Let us know in the comments. Add to that. If you did think that he's wrong, then write that he's wrong. But if you're not adding your input, it's no point. I'm presenting the evidence, and I'm gonna leave my side in a couple minutes.
On any hype train like that. But a lot of these, there will be records, and if Spiro can pull enough of this out to show there was no after party, like it was documented the events they went to. Show me there was. Will that make it easier to sort of dismiss this?
Well, you're still going to have to get through discovery, and eventually we have this thing called summary judgment in most jurisdictions where, hey, even with all the discovery done, judge, they can't meet the elements of their claim, right? So the case doesn't need to go to a jury. Let's dismiss it. Defendants can do that. Plaintiffs can also do that. Plaintiffs can say, Your Honor, we have all the elements of our claim met through discovery. We're going to file a motion for summary judgment saying we should prevail. I don't think this case is going to get resolved at summary judgment. I think it's going to come down to witness testimony, and witness testimony, who's more credible, is an issue only a jury can decide.
All right. I want to stop it right there because I just wanted to leave the space for people to actually write what they feel about this. I'm going to add my 2 cents real quick and then give y'all time to think about your response. Don't just accuse somebody of being guilty. When this comes up, we have to take our time with the way we point fingers. Because if you was the person that didn't do anything and people are accusing you, then it'd be wrong. And if you did do something wrong and we accusing you, it's different. But if we didn't, take your time before you just start pointing fingers. A lot of people are, associating him in this situation. He might have to go to court for all this. We need proof. This is a little bit of the, evidence right here. There's a whole bunch of pages about this. Look it up. Let me know what y'all feel. Would he do this? Did he do it? Is he wrong? Is he not? I mean, Diddy's not the one. Diddy's in a different case, so this is a different situation. All right, make sure y'all subscribe if you like what the barbers like. Hit the top bell. I'm out of here.